Coach put me in the game, so
Disclaimer, fading the books is not responsible for any losses. These are our opinions.
said it's about that time. Coach put me in the game so I can push that line. Fade in the books, yeah, it's time to talk parlay. This is the reason you need to watch today. It's almost game day, so let's get paid. We fade in the books, now go ahead and turn the page.
Welcome, sports betting world, to Fade in the Books. I'm your host today, and I got a few picks that I like for today's slate. I really like it. Got a beautiful day outside, so you know me. I'm not going to be in here too long. We get some picks in the comments. We might be here a little longer. Other than that, I'm going to hold you for about 30 if that's all right with y'all. Let me go ahead. Let me get my chat up so I can see what I got going on. All right. Little channel business real quick. 183 subscribers, still 17 away from 200. Can't believe it. You know, it's been a grind, you know, with the NFL season. I can't even remember when we started the channel. It hasn't been a year yet. So hopefully we can get those 17 subscribers by the end of this weekend to push us up to that 200. I have a video out there with my 3 best picks that I like for today's slate. And I also have a short out there. So if your attention span isn't that long, you can check out the short and you can subscribe for the short channel. All right. But with that being said, I'm going to jump over here in the Props Madness. Props Madness, I'm telling you right now, this is the best tool for NBA sports betting. They also have WNBA, they have NFL, and they also have MLB. So, needless to say, I would not be leaving Props Madness anytime soon. And I'm still learning how to work this thing to benefit me when it comes to my picks. I see a lot of creators using it, and they use it in a certain way. I just have to utilize it in a way where it benefits me and my picks. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into my first bet that I like tonight. And we're going to go to this Hawks-Rockets game. And I'm going with Jalen Johnson. And I'm taking his over 16.5 rebounds and assists. They're playing the Rockets. The Rockets are playing some ugly ball right now. You know, they just got spanked by my Lakers, you know, twice. You know, normally when you play a team back-to-back, you know, you make some adjustments, which the Rockets did. It was just too much Luka. Luka's been balling. You know, he just went for 60 last night, you know, against Miami. Even though they got into Miami late, you know, he was questionable. LeBron was questionable. That man, what, 41 years old and dropped a triple dub on him? Come on now. Austin Reeves also plays. So now, hey, game take night off or so. Go ahead and rest those bones. But let's get back to Jalen Johnson here. Over 16.5 rebounds and assists. As we see here, I just have it maxed out to 20 games, and he's over in 13 of 20 games. We can max it out to 62. He's over in 42 of 62 games. So we'll go back to the 20 here. That's enough sample size for us there. His minutes, he's projected to play 30 to 40 minutes. So if we look at this, the Rockets, they're ranked number 1 when it comes to rebounds and assists to that position. But Jalen Johnson, he thrives in those challenges. And we can look here. He's covered that line in 13 of 19 games. So, you know, we're looking at this Rockets game here. That'd probably be the 20th one right there, whatnot. But again, covering in 13 to 19 games. And you got to use a high usage guy like Johnson. You can't just leave him out, you know. And what I came to conclusion, how I come to this pick with this rebounds and assists, I looked at his points. So we take all this off, and let's look over at his points. He's projected to get 21. Is that 21.5 as his line? He's covered that in 11 or 20 games. But when we scroll over here and we look at those minutes, 30 to 40 minutes, and then if we look at the position that ranked 3 in points at that position and in challenging matchups, he's 7 of 17. So he doesn't do good when it comes to scoring in those challenging matchups, but he excels in the other parts of the game, which is the rebounds and assists. So that's what drew me to go ahead and take his rebounds and assists rather than his points. Because if he's not scoring, hopefully, if they're double blitzing him, having him get the ball up, we just need Alexander. We need Daniels, a Conwu, as long as they can, get us some buckets to help cover that assist line, because the rebound should be there for him. The Rockets aren't that great of a rebounding team. Kevin Durant, he's not known to be a rebounder. Sengun, he's questionable at times. Thompson, he's somewhat decent. Smith, not too good. So the rebounds isn't an issue with Johnson for me. It's just the assists and those guys knocking down shots. So Jalen Johnson over 16 and a half rebounds and assists. That is my first pick for tonight, and I really love that pick for him against this Houston Rockets team. Let's look. Another pick that I like tonight. We're gonna go to this Knicks and Nets game. And this pick may throw some people off because it's like, who is this dude? But I'm looking at Drake Powell. Now, again, you don't have to play these plays. You know what I'm saying? But I looked at Drake Powell, and if we look at him here, his line is at 7.5 points. Okay, not the greatest. He's 5 of 20 and covering that 7.5 line. But if we look at his projected minutes, which is 17 to 27 minutes, the defense to the position, we'll take it up to 14. He's 8 of 20 in it. But the one thing I looked at was that they got a few guys out. Michael Porter Jr. is out. Clowney, he's out. Denham is out. Williams, he's questionable. Sharp is out. Mann is out. So they got a lot of guys that's out, and somebody got to play, and somebody got to score. Right now, it's a 17.5 point spread, so they're looking at a blowout. This guy doesn't get a lot of minutes, but he's going to get some if it's a blowout, okay? But the one thing that got me looking at him head-to-head against the Knicks, he has 15, 15, and 6 points. And I was like, man, this guy, again, they lost by 38. They lost by 13. They lost by 54 in this game, okay? But this game probably had Michael Porter there, those guys and whatnot. But for him to have 15 points in two of the 3 games, that was a blowout for the most part, I think I'll take that 7.5 point line for him to cover tonight. Again, I'm just looking at the data. It's a blowout. Somebody's got to play. And again, he's expected to play 17 to 27 minutes. And those 17 to 27 minutes could come in the second half when, of the blowout. But all we're needing him to do is get 8 points at home. And while we're looking at it, let's see how he does at home. Let's clear all this out. Splits at home, 620. Like I say, he doesn't have the best of splits because he doesn't get the minutes or the usage, but they got a lot of guys out and somebody has to play. So Drake Powell over 7.5 points at 105. Definitely a take for me. And it's at plus money right now on FanDuel. So that's 2 plays I have there. Let's see. The next play I'm going with is I'm going to take, let's look at William Richards. William Richard. I'm looking at his rebounds. His line right now is at 3.5. It is juiced a little bit for him at 148. But if we look at it here, Quentin Post is out. And when Quentin Post is out of the lineup, he's over that line in 2 or 3 games. So looking at it, they're playing a Detroit Pistons team who doesn't have Cade Cunningham. Jalen Durham is questionable. They may give him the night off. seeing that they have played a lot of games within the past like four days. They really got a lot of usage out of Durham with no Cunningham. So Detroit is hurting right now, and I think this is a spot where William Richard can get some rebounds. I do believe Isaiah Stewart is still out, so that rebounder, big body coming off the bench, they don't have him. So William Richard over 148. Let's look at him in some challenger matchups. 3.5. Yeah, he's covered it. Let's see, 5 of 20. Like I said, his numbers aren't good, but the opportunities with these guys out is what makes this, a doable play. Especially if Jalen Durham is ruled out. That's going to be a real good spot for him to get 4 rebounds. And I just showed you he's 2 of 3 and covering 3.5 rebounds without posting the lineup. So we'll get William Richards, I should say, for his rebounds at 4. Actually, that's plus money on FanDuel, plus 148. So we'll take that one. Also, let's see here. We'll go one more, maybe 2, and then I'll be ending the stream here. Got to go with my guy. And if you haven't checked out the short or checked out the video that was up this morning, let's see if his line moved any. Oh, his line, let's see. Yeah, they still got him at 4.5. Balin Schermeyer, his rebounds, he cashed last time we played him. Again, 15.5 point spread. They're looking at another blowout for this game. We all know that Memphis is one of those teams. I wouldn't even say they're tanking. They just don't have they just don't have a good roster. Getting rid of Jaren Jackson and all that, man. I mean, you could say they're tanking, but even with Jaren Jackson, they still wasn't that good of a squad. So let's look at his minutes here. First of all, he's covered the line in 14 of 20 games, over 4.5 rebounds, and it's at 128. Pretty decent line for us. But we'll go through this. His expected minutes, 18 to 28 minutes. Favorable matchups, he's 8 of 10. With Tatum, he's still 2 of 3. With Brown, he's 7 of 8 with Brown. So this 4.5 over on the rebounds, I really like it, and I'm really gonna play it. I mean, I watched him the other night, and that guy, he's a hustler when it comes to the rebounds, chasing them out of bounds, making a play on it. He's an energizer bunny out there. So his over 4.5 rebounds, I'm definitely playing that line. So we got 4 picks there. See if we can go with one more here. See if we can get another one in. Blazers, Wolves. Let's look at that. Everybody's on Desonu. A lot of people's on him. Jaden McDaniels, he had a stretch where he was kind of garbage out there. Let's look at Denny Avia. He's a high usage player for them. He just came back from an injury. I think Portland may be right there. They may be in a play-in, maybe. They're having a pretty decent season. I know Drew Holiday numbers went down ever since he's come back, but they're playing a Minnesota team without Anthony. So this could be a spot, where Portland can get him. So let's look at Denny Avia here. And I'm just doing this on the fly here. Don't really see none that I like for Denny Avia. Jaden McDaniels. Rebounds and assists, maybe even rebounds. They're 24th to the position. He's 50% on that. It's just McDaniels, you never know with him though. Same way with Julius Randle. Bones Highland points without Edwards. His assist could be a play. At 4. So look at his minutes here. 3 or 4. Covering that. Hmm. 4 assists for Bones Highland. I think we might roll with that one. Because again, you don't want to add too many filters. Because then, man, I'm telling you, your parlay it just goes to the hell after that. So Bones Highland, I'm gonna take him for 4 assists. Pretty good number for that. That's the 5 plays I got there. Like to thank you for checking out this live stream. Probably won't do anything for the weekend. May do a short or two, but I think I'm gonna take a break from YouTube. Put out 3 things out there, so that should be enough for tonight. Hold over to the weekend. With that being said, go out there and enjoy it. We're supposed to have a nice one, and I will catch you on YouTube the next